right, you guys, what is going on, you guys? Good morning. I am on my way to work, so of course, this is the hot topic that's trending everywhere. So, everybody's been talking about it. So, of course, I have a job and a responsibility to weigh in on this situation, this beef between Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James. Listen, at the end of the day, it's material for us. It's a topic. So I'm going to give my opinion on it. Now, we all know that the LeBronians and the LeBronomaniacs, these LeBron extremists, in all likelihood, some of them are going to make videos calling for ESPN to fire Stephen A. Smith. I'm telling you right now, that's not going to happen. Stephen A. Smith isn't going anywhere. But I will say this from Stephen A.'s point. He made some interesting points about LeBron that I do agree with. But at the same time, I can say the same about him, where he said that LeBron James comes across as a phony, as a snake, and being disingenuous. Yeah, I believe that, but one could say the same about him. Because Stephen A. Smith has shown a history of being disingenuous and coming across as a snake. Keep in mind, this is the dude that got mad, at Kevin Durant and was talking about, you don't want me to start, telling stuff that I heard about you. So I looked upon as, okay, this dude is threatening to put, some personal stuff out about Kevin Durant, which I thought was weak. And I wonder, would Stephen A. Smith admit that he was wrong for that? One thing about journalists, from yesteryear, like from the 60s, the 70s, and even the early 80s, some of those journalists were really friends with athletes, and they would protect them at all costs. There was at least a mutual respect for each other for what a player would do on the basketball court, the football field, or the baseball field. And they would keep their personal business, out of the limelight. But now you got these people that can't wait to put stuff out there. And, Stephen A. Smith, being the fact that Stephen A. Smith is pushing 60 years old, and he's saying that, well, if LeBron James would have made a move towards him, it would have been Will Smith versus Chris Rock, part 2. Which, let me explain something to you. I can say and base this on everything I own that LeBron James wouldn't be stupid enough to even remotely try to put his hands on Stephen A. Smith with basically everybody watching on a national televised TV game. Because LeBron knows that would be disastrous for him. And I think Stephen A. Smith know not to fight LeBron James, but he still shouldn't be saying it. Because I think you should not have a reporter in no way, shape, or form threatening to, resort to violence. But here we go again with the street stuff. Stephen A. Smith trying to talk street, trying to, I guess that's the Queens in him. But at the end of the day, somebody of his stature who been in the game for 30 plus years to even remotely say something like that. And you like, for what? Why? Why at this point you talking like that? And I think that's very, detrimental to the black community, this tough guy stuff. I don't even know why would he even remotely tie that to LeBron James' remarks. Now, I'm going to say this much about LeBron. LeBron is full of shit too. Because at the end of the day, for people who keep talking about we're being unfair to his son in our critique of him, listen, I'm going to say this again. Yes, your son was drafted in the second round, but here's the key word: your son. He is tied to you. If your son had went anywhere but the Lakers, we wouldn't be having this conversation. You know why we're even remotely bringing up your son? Because your son got drafted in the second round and got drafted by the very same team that you played for. Had he went anywhere, the Golden State Warriors, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Phoenix Suns, wherever, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But the fact that you pushed, and we know you did, for your son to get drafted by the Lakers, that's why we're having this conversation. And the LeBron nut hookers who want to talk all this, oh yeah, well LeBron got it, like, because once again, our critique of Bronny James is how he got his spot. And then we're talking about nepotism. And we talking about him taking up a roster spot from somebody that might have been more ready to play. And we already know that this was just basically, you could somewhat say, a publicity thing, attention grab. But at the end of the day, us media, this is what we supposed to do. This is what we supposed to be able to talk about. And we supposed to be able to talk about it however we want. We shouldn't have to always sit up here and kiss LeBron James' ass. That is the problem. LeBron James wants everybody to kiss his ass. He wants everybody to watch what they say pertaining to him or to anybody that's affiliated with him. Now, I'm going to say this about LeBron James. Y'all got to excuse me. I'm going to get to, the solo videos, but, I had to get, prepared because, I head to Vegas, later on today. I'll address a whole bunch of different topics, but I'm going to address all this stuff. But getting back to LeBron James is disingenuous. Come to find out that it looks like LeBron James lied when he was saying, oh, I was dumbfounded. I was shocked. I had no idea this was going to happen. But according to reports, somebody already leaked out that LeBron James was the one that sort of like orchestrated, or at least knew that this trade with Luka Doncic was going to happen. So he's already been outed for, basically lying, saying he didn't know it was going to happen. And you know why LeBron James lied? Because it looked like he snaked Anthony Davis. Listen, you got to say this. Luka is younger than Anthony Davis. He's a proven superstar. Luka can play without a shadow of a doubt. But the thing is with LeBron James, acted as if he didn't know the trade was going to happen, and obviously he did. That's what pissed people. Hey, LeBron, you could have just said, man, we decided to move in a different direction. We felt that the Anthony Davis experiment was over. But I was shocked. I was somewhere eating steak and lobster, and I had no idea this was going to happen. So this is why people get mad at LeBron. This is why a lot of people think LeBron James is a fraud. When all the nigga had to do is say, listen, Anthony Davis is my friend. I will thank him, from the bottom of my heart. I will always be grateful that he helped me win a championship. But, it was just time for change. And that's it. But nah, man, you trying to make it look like you had nothing to do with it, and come to find out you snaked the brother. So that makes people, once again, look at you like, damn, man, this dude is hella fake. Like he's untrustworthy. Now, I know the LeBronians, they gonna get mad like they always do. But that was messed up that he did that to AD. Now, you have to be honest, AD sometimes, if he, opens, basically a box of crackers fresh from, Walmart, depending on the way he opens it, he gets hurt, and then he's out for like 2 weeks. He is injury prone. That has always been his Achilles heel. He gets hurt too easy, and that's been his problem. If he sneezes too hard, he's out for a week. You know, if one of his fingers get hurt from him flushing the toilet from taking a piss, he's out for a week. So that's been the problem with Anthony Davis. That's factual. But to just hear LeBron James sit up there and flat out lie to the public, lie to the fans, and lie to the media, this is what pisses people off. And then you got to look at the other dynamic, but this is LeBron James history. He snaked coaches, he snaked players. LeBron James is an untrustworthy guy, but then he smiles for the camera, says all the right things for the most part, and then he turns on the charm, and then once again his fans get mesmerized, the media nut huggers get mesmerized, and then LeBron is back to being LeBron. Sometimes I think LeBron James have like some button that he pushes where he can like hypnotize like certain fans and certain media people, kind of like what happened, like maybe LeBron James has this tea that he drinks or something, sort of like what happened on Get Out, where people be in like a sunken place, or like he pushes some button and then they hypnotize like Reggie Jackson from The Naked Gun. I must kill the queen. I must kill the queen. I don't know, but like I said before, he knows how to give him credit for that. But getting back to Stephen A. Smith, A. Smith, like, he's going to be disingenuous. Keep in mind, Stephen A. Smith, let's not act like you that trustworthy yourself. Keep in mind, you the same defended a flat out racist and Megyn Kelly, who was sitting up there criticizing, the unofficial Black national anthem and Lift Every Voice and Sing. It's not the official Black national anthem, but a lot of people just said it was. But he defended her. He defended Jerry Jones when Jerry Jones was at a Jim Crow rally and it was revealed he was there. So Stephen A. Smith has shown that we have to throw our antennas up when it pertains to him. So it's kind of like if you looking at the hourglass on who can you trust more, I don't think there is no winning solution, because Stephen A. Smith has shown that he can't be trusted, and then LeBron James has shown he can't be trusted. So at the end of the day, if this was a fight, and it went 12 rounds, you would have to call it a draw. I guess you could say it was sort of like Maine Taylor and Winky Wright. It was a draw, even though some people thought that that Winky Wright won the fight. I thought Jermaine Taylor might have edged it, but it was a close fight. So there you have it. I don't think it's no winner in this situation, because LeBron James didn't have no business walking up to Stephen A. Smith acting like he wanted all this smoke, because he know he wasn't going to do anything. LeBron James could have easily waited till after the game was over. He could have went over there and said what he said to Stephen A. Smith. So LeBron James was trying to show off for the camera too. And both of these dudes knew that the media was going to talk about it. So for act as if this wasn't going to go viral, come on, man. Come on, LeBron. Come on, Stephen A. Smith. Neither one of you niggas is keeping it 100. First of all, you in Los Angeles, arguably the #2 media market in the world. You at a Lakers home game. Come on, man. You knew damn well this was gonna go viral. So that's where Stephen A. Smith is being disingenuous. Come on, dude. You knew damn well that this was going to go viral. You knew damn well that you was going to have to address it. And that's where I have to call bullshit with Stephen A. Smith. Bro, you've been doing this for how long? You know this is the age of social media, the internet, etc., etc. So how could you sit up there and say that you wasn't going to talk about it when you knew damn well all them cameras was there? So stop lying, dude. Now, I will agree with LeBron on that note. You knew damn well you was going to talk about it. You knew damn well this was attention that you needed. So both of them, to a certain degree, as clout chasers, both of them love being in the limelight. Both of these guys love when people are talking about them, whether it's good or bad. But at the same time, it helps us other media people out. Because Stephen A. Smith, like him or love him, he leads the views. And LeBron James definitely leads the views. So at the end of the day, whether this beef is legit or not, which I believe that is legit, we all have something to gain from it. And that's just real talk. But both of them is full of it. Both of them. Both of them is not telling the truth. But Stephen A. Smith sit up there and say that he didn't think this was going to go viral. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it. I had a slight confrontation with you back in 2019. No, excuse me, 2018 in Los Angeles. Had it happened now, it would have. Had it happened now, instead of it happened in 2018, it would have been even more viral. But it made its waves. People talked about it, and I wasn't even clout chasing. I just really wanted to talk to Stephen A. Smith. So Stephen A. Smith been coming across as being disingenuous and not keeping it a buck. But at the end of the day, like he said, and I'll say this in quote, every day I wake up in the morning trying to figure out how I can make my bosses more money and how I can get some of it. Okay, he already said, okay. To me, that's openly admitting that you're willing to go through the extreme. That means you're willing to compromise yourself. So that came out of his mouth. I think he said that around 2020, you know? So that came out of his mouth. He said that. But this whole thing about he would have fired on LeBron and all that kind of stuff, come on, man, stop it. And then you sitting up saying it would have been a repeat of Will Smith and Chris Rock. Well, first of all, the only person that something happened to, it was Chris Rock. And Chris Rock, I'm gonna say this again. He deserved to get slapped in. I was glad Will Smith did that. The person who Will Smith did, she didn't deserve to get defended because she's undermined him for years. Which I'm gonna talk about that in a separate video. And shout out to Will Smith for getting his own street in Philadelphia. And I noticed that somebody wasn't there. Well, I didn't at least see her in any of the frames. I didn't see her in any of the pictures, the video. So obviously she wasn't there. But shout out to Will Smith. I had no problem with him doing that. I'm gonna keep it 100. I can't respect a dude like Chris Rock. There's just some people you can't defend. When he sat up there and let a room full of white boys sit up there and call him the N-word, and he didn't do nothing and he didn't check them, he just sat up there with the Kool-Aid smile. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. A dude like that should never be respected. So there you have it with that. That's that. We both know who these guys are. We both know that these dudes, they have media people that they cool with, and particularly LeBron. We know about, Rich Paul and them, or some people, Clutch Sports, some aka the media. So it was a viral moment. But then you got people like Shannon Sharp saying that Stephen A. Smith should leave it alone. Well, at the end of the day, this is how this works. It's sort of like what you would call a rap battle, a media battle. Stephen A. Smith responded, LeBron responded, now Stephen A. Smith responded again. Now let's see what's going to happen of this. What's going to become of this? We'll just have to see. I listened to the LeBron James interview in its entirety for the most part. I think it was only like 2 minutes. I didn't listen to it because I had got enough from it. He said everything that I was interested in hearing about, which he kind of gave a little slick answer. And the way Pat McAfee asked the question, it was slick when he asked him at 40 years old, and he's still playing at what you would call a high level. LeBron James gave him the coming to America answer, basically said his juices and fruits and what you call those hypo chambers and all that kind of stuff. Okay, LeBron. Now I know some clever people go listen to this and they gonna make videos and they gonna say, see, this explains why LeBron James is playing at a high level at 40. Hey, and it was smart. It was smart. It was smart. He basically tried to address it without him asking him a question about it. So that was clever. And that was clever of me to figure out how he addressed the surrounding question. The question that's been floating around for years about LeBron James. How is he able at age 40 to play at a high level? He said, well, he say it's a passion and a love for the game. He's saying basketball is his life. He says basically, juices and berries and, a lot of exercise, good diet, and, those hydro chambers and all that kind of stuff. So, hey, good response, LeBron. That was real slick. That was real clever. You have to ask yourself about LeBron. Is everything orchestrated? Of course it is. Of course it is. But I will give Pat McAfee credit. It was a good interview. It was a good interview. I've never said that LeBron James isn't an interesting person. He is a person, when he talks, you kind of want to hear what he says because you're going to be interested on how, what I'm saying, basically help Kyrie Irving, a guy that he claims he had a chance, buffering a little bit. He had a chance, LeBron James had a chance to Kyrie Irving. This is why I don't trust LeBron James and why I do think to a certain extent that he's fake. He had a chance to fix this situation with Kyrie Irving. He should have called out to be this said, I think you guys are being too hard on Kyrie Irving. All the man did is say he gonna watch a movie. So you guys are that upset about a guy just saying he gonna watch a movie. That's just how he feels. Kyrie Irving should have never been suspended. He should have never been fined. But all this was retaliation because Kyrie Irving didn't want, because Kyrie Irving didn't want to take the potion. That's all this was by the media. It was retaliation. And LeBron James, to me, he went out like a coward. Because I think if LeBron James would have openly spoken and said, hey, man, I don't think he should be suspended. Now, on a side note, I want to let you guys know Kyrie Irving got the money back that was taken from him in fines. Because come to find out that, and you can look it up too, that New York the state of New York violated labor laws and practices because he shouldn't have been suspended. He shouldn't have been suspended. He shouldn't have been fined because technically he said nothing offensive. To me, Kyrie Irving could have sued everybody. He could have sued the Brooklyn Nets. He could have sued the NBA. Like, he could have went after certain media outlets, and he would have won. So if you think I'm lying, look it up. I don't put out no videos unless I have all of the information, for the most part. If I'm not sure, I always ask people to put additional information in the comment section, because I don't pretend to know everything. But yeah, I just had to just speak on this Stephen A. Smith thing. I just thought it was ridiculous that Stephen A. Smith was talking about he would have fired on somebody. You are way too advanced in this stage of your media career. You are a journalist. You can't be sitting up there talking about you would have fought somebody and all that kind of stuff. You are almost 60 years old, man. And like I said, it sounded good, but I've seen Stephen A. Smith trying to attempt to box. I didn't like his chances against LeBron James. And I'm going to say this again, LeBron James would not have been foolish enough to try to fight Stephen A. Smith in front of everybody. I'm sorry, billionaires don't fight people. Okay? They just don't do it. He would have had too much to lose. But I am going to talk about, people like showing their ass on the basketball court. I am going to talk about one particular person showing their ass on the basketball court who shouldn't even be like voicing their opinion, who need to just sit their ass down. And I'm going to talk about that later on. But that's how I feel about the situation. I feel that, we don't believe Stephen A. Smith. Now, what becomes of this today, we'll just have to see, because everybody gonna have an opinion. But I'm just giving you my opinion. Anyway, it's your boy Town. I'm out.